Welcome back, everybody, to Security IQ. This is Elisa. Min, say hello.
Hi.
Today we have Mandee Myers and Bert Hart.
Yes, the guy that's dancing. Mandee, come on. You're not dancing.
Alter ego Brett.
That's all right. We should play a game. Let's make them all get drinks, and anytime we pronounce their name wrong, Brett takes a drink. Not saying Brett on purpose.
And I'll have an excuse why I say dumb stuff, right?
That's all right. I will do it. I'll do it for you.
Well, it is roughly happy hour, so if you are watching this and you have a cocktail, drink up.
Oh,
but
man.
Today's episode, we are going to dive into the kindness games. I am absolutely loving this initiative, and I totally hijacked it from you guys. Nobody called me out. I called myself out. But I just thought it was such a really good thing to do. So much just garbage on the news and all kinds of horrible stories. Just, it was really nice to see something different for a change. And I think I'm finally putting my final count on my initiative in terms of the donation. So I'm going to probably head down this weekend. Actually, no, this weekend's Halloween. What am I saying?
I'll do it next weekend. You don't want to do this weekend, trust me.
I'm going to do next week, and I'm just going to put a final count on it and drop off all those meals. So I'm super excited to do that. But I would love to hear all of you guys, because so far, all four of us have done it so far, right? We recorded our videos, called out a bunch of people to continue on with the games. But I would love to hear your stories in terms of, who you called out, what your own little initiatives were, and why. I actually have a story myself on feeding people. I am Italian, so I like to feed people. Maybe not as much as Min. Min really likes to feed people.
No.
But I would love to hear your stories and just talk a little bit more about kindness games. I think everyone who's watching this should call themselves out and jump on the bandwagon. So, Min, let's start with you.
What did I do?
Because you were on my list to call out. So
yes, well, yeah, you were on my you were. Thanks for calling me out, lady. Meanwhile, I'm sitting there doing this. What do I It's all right. It was good. I just have to go and write my check eventually and do my final count before I did that. But really, I appreciate the fact that there are people out there who are thinking the opposite way instead of causing this unrest and this negativity. Like, bring out the positivity. So I was really appreciative of Elisa doing that. Now, if I start speaking Chinese, just let me know and just whack. Well, you're not here, you can't whack me.
我会说一点普通话，我说的不好。
好啊，他会讲国语，好厉害哦！
我说的不好，我说的不好。
真的很好。
I feel the same.
Like a piece italiano.
No.
Oh,
I'm a true American. We don't speak anything but American.
But really, it was really great to see you guys doing that, and then calling out Tim Wenzel. I think he started. I didn't do the other challenge yet. I don't think I had the time to do that. But I think it's such a great thing that both of you are doing. So the question I have for both of you: who started it first? Is it Mandee or is it Bert, or did you guys kind of sneakily start saying, let's do it together at the same time?
So it's funny. I had virtual coffee with Tim Wenzel a couple weeks back, and we were talking about the kindness games, and he is the one who started it. So he was like, "When are you gonna do it? When are you gonna do the kindness games?" I'm like, "I know, I love it. I love the initiative. I need to jump on it." And he's like, "Well, then just do it." And I'm like, "Yeah, all right." We were trying to think about ways, because I'm shy for the most, oddly enough, I'm a bit shy. I know, right?
No.
Wait, what, you are?
Yeah, right. Whoa.
Like what? Next thing I'm gonna tell Bert is introverted, right?
Yeah. Super introverted.
So
shirt off.
To work up to it, but I'm just like, there's all these great people doing it, and it's such a important message to get on right now, just with everything that's going on, like you both mentioned, everything that's going on in the world, in our country, just everything that's kind of fueling a lot of negativity and polarization, stuff like that. I was like, all right, you know what? I'm going to jump on this. I'm going to do it. Like Tim has been trying to get me to do it for a bit now. So I'm like, I'm going to do it. And lo and behold, it's just kind of like, I love that Bert, I wanted to at least acknowledge Bert for my first one, just because he and I, we just started working together this year and we like became fast friends. And I don't know, he's just been, he and I have both been like kind of juggling some things and going through some things this year, as like most people are, but he's just been such a ray of sunshine that I'm like, how do you do it? Like I'm sitting here like with a glass of wine, like I don't know how to done, glasses down, like
For some reason I can see like a fedora or something with a glass of wine. And
no, it's basically me. I'm just like this negative over here, and Bert's like, no, let's keep going, positive sunshine, let's flow. I'm sending you good. And like no matter what's going on throughout the week, Bert's just always there, and he's fantastic. Sorry, Bert, I hate to make
man.
He's making blush.
Can you see the blushing?
He definitely has an infectious smile. How did you get connected with the rest of the team? You didn't know each other first, you knew the folks from the inside first, right?
Yeah. Leah kind of, at the inside, group 337 kind of put us together.
Mm-hmm.
We worked together well, and we became buds. And from there, Bert just after I did the kindness games, Bert jumped on it, and I was so happy to see that. And then woke up the next day to both of you jumping on it, and I was like, oh my god, it's taking off! I love it! I'm so happy. I was like, yo, Tim, check this out! It's coming! It's going!
I know.
I think you should collect all the videos and make like a little recap.
Ooh.
You know what I mean? Obviously don't put everyone's video, like the full length video, but just like short little clips of everyone's, just to show how it's taken off. Yeah. I think that's awesome. And here's why. I don't mean to interrupt our flow, but again, if we're sort of creating like this whole other world to the security industry, I feel like, right?
Yep. Absolutely.
So different than some of the stuff that we're seeing out there, and not to discredit anybody or poo-poo on anyone's platform, but it's just a very different vibe. And, especially in the age of inclusivity and trying to push the envelope, think outside the box, really reinvent ourselves as an industry. Yeah. This is what we're doing, Exactly. And to include the kindness games in that, again, I made a comment that most people don't really, I guess, think about, but in the protection piece of the business, being kind to people is a form of protecting them. It really is. Like
absolutely.
It's a service, and that's why we do what we do. So to exclude that humanistic side of the industry, I think is a shame. And the fact that we're bringing it to life with all of our stories and calling each other out on the kindness games, I love it. And I think it should be shouted from the rooftops.
Agreed.
But Bert, how did you connect with Lee? I want to hear your story.
Oh God. So I connected with Lee maybe 7 years ago. No, about 5 years ago when I first started working at Brevo.
Okay.
Which takes me to who I called out for the kindness game, which was Steve Antil.
Yeah, he's a great guy.
Yeah. So when I don't know yet. I haven't checked.
I will ping him personally for you if you want me to.
Yeah. Yeah, probably ping him. He's a busy dude.
I know he is, but
yeah,
I will ping him personally.
Never too busy for kindness.
Exactly.
I know, right? I know. So I saw Mandee's video and I was like, oh man, this is great. We need good vibes in the world, because, with all the stuff that's going on, it's easy to just constantly think about like all this negative stuff, or to just watch the news or something like that. Not enough YouTube puppy channels or whatever out there for everyone. So I was like, man, let me do one for Steve Antil. And the reason I chose him because, when I first moved out to the East Coast, I got a job with Brevo, and while I was there for the 2 years when I was working at Brevo, man, I got to know like everyone there. It was it was a great team of folks. And, just being able to like have that every day going to work. And it was like my first introduction into security. I was like, man, this is like the best thing ever. I could go to work and it doesn't even seem like work because I'm designing and I'm hanging out with folks and I'm talking to everybody, blah, 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 blah. And just being able to like converse with Steve Van Til, just like he's like a regular dude, because I know a lot of people like look at CEOs and, presidents of companies and stuff like that. It's like, oh, intimidating. But he was just like a, pretty normal dude. And, I just wanted to call him out because I know like when I left Brevo, I was all in tears and our like final exit meeting. I was like, oh my God, I don't want to leave, but I got to. And I was just like, I never really had a chance to thank him outside of, my like last email to everyone, which I like listed everyone on the list. And then, I felt like, when I left, I said, thanks Steve Van Til for being the captain of this party ship. I don't know if he like took it like the right way, but I was like, man, I just wanted to tell you thank you again for just like giving me like those 2 great years with the company and like, exposing me to the security industry, because ever since then I've just been working in it, working with a lot of different people. And man, I was just thankful, and I, sometimes people don't hear that enough, or you don't get the opportunity to say it, or, I don't know.
Agreed.
It could be going
So to your point, I just sent Steve an email. I literally sent him an email calling him out.
In a good way.
In a good way. No. We still need him, and I still need to catch up, but that's another story.
So without giving away too much detail, there's a lot of stuff going on at Group 337, and some really interesting, we'll say, collaborative efforts. And I don't know what is able to be public or not, but I would love for, us to, again, Lee sort of brought us all together and provided this platform for us, but it, in the efforts of continuing on with the kindness games and thanking people, there is a uniqueness to it. And from your perspective in working with this organization, creating and building the platform, how do you guys see this, like looking forward? Again, don't want to give away too much on what we're all coming together to do, but where do you see this in like the next 5 years in terms of the industry growth and how the inside is really sort of changing that paradigm?
And before we want the dirty little secrets here. So give sorry, I'm going to be candid. Give me the expose.
I'm more of a delayed gratification kind of. I like to keep stuff under wraps, poker face. So I don't like
the face. I just smile. Just give us the dirt. Come on. No kidding.
Well, Mandee.
So I think something you'll at least find humorous is the very fact that on Slack, pretty much where we all communicate a lot. For Group 337, we all have different avatars from The Office.
Yep.
Really? You use The Office? That's great. So who? What is your avatar?
Oh, I'm Dwight, 100%. Like I'm
love
whatever
Dwight.
Whatever you need, Lee. I got you. Okay, got you, Lee. All right, how's this now, Lee? Good. All right. Cool.
Are you the assistant to the assistant?
Oh, geez.
Manager, 100%.
Well, I want to get Bert now. I wonder what
okay, yeah. I'm Kevin, so
Beans.
I felt like that fit me pretty well. Kevin is pretty funny. He's like a genius in disguise. Kind of.
Who was that like really mean, sarcastic blonde chick?
I don't remember her name.
Angela,
Yes.
yep.
That would be my choice. I keep things pretty locked down, but in my mind, the sarcasm is racing.
Why don't you blur it out? Just so much nicer when you just blur it out.
You know what happened? Min, you've seen me, like, not too many people get to see this. You have seen me on the phone with people when I call people out.
Yes, I have.
I do my best to like say it as respectfully as possible, but kind of comes out really nasty, doesn't it? I mean, is it me?
So fine. Like for me,
And then-
I'm bitch on wheels. Dude,
I do my best. I'm very sensitive to the whole bullying thing, and I never want to it's one thing to call somebody out or to make a correction or whatever.
I agree.
I don't want anyone to feel uncomfortable. Sometimes I can't hold it back, and it just, you know what I mean?
You know my phrase. Don't get angry. Get even. But even in a nice way with a smile. You'll figure out what I mean by that. The look on your face is like, what do you
Kill
mean?
with kindness.
Get even with you get even with a smile.
It's
That's what my mama used to
very
say.
rare. It's very rare that I like drop any kind of hammer, but yeah. But anyway, the sarcasm. That's how I keep it all under wraps. Is I say it under my breath or in my own head.
Got it. To be a fly in your head, just
that would be my character. Would be Angela. I love her. Love her. Anyway.
Oh my God, sorry. So it was
anyway, let's get back to the original question. I want to hear from your perspective, what would be, from a changing paradigm.
Really quick. Sorry.
Yeah, go ahead.
Oh, I guess I can go first. 5 years.
Hi, doggy.
5 years. Where do I see this in 5 years?
You can be honest. First thing that comes to your mind. Let's do this. First thing that comes to your mind.
I want to say unstoppable growth. Oh, that's the first thing that came to my mind, but it doesn't sound right.
Good. Well,
but so like how I envision like the industry being in 5 years due to like everything that we're implementing with the inside is like constant change, like, new ideals, people trying different approaches over the stereotypical, approach that you might see in the industry now, which has been going on for forever.
Mm-hmm.
So everything that we're doing now is like, so different, so innovative, that it seems a little bit, too different, but not really. We're just kind of giving a second breath to the industry, so to speak, or like security 2.0 or something like that. And so in 5 years, I would like to see from a lot of companies who have been doing the same things, me in particular, great design, one, because there's a lot of companies out there that are lacking in that. And two, more ideals and the more use of like social media platforms, because, for some reason, I mean, the industry is really lacking in that. So yeah,
is that part of your role? Do you, you're managing a lot of the social media?
No, that's kind of Mandee's. I'm just more so like the look. So we kind of been working in tandem. So everything that you see in terms of
graphics. Okay.
Yeah,
all right.
graphics.
I'm thinking here, he's like, we got to do it this way, a different type of look. When you're in the fashion industry, the look is another thing. So just.
Oh, well, I mean, I guess you could say that too.
little bit of branding mixed in.
Exactly.
Yep.
Okay.
Yep.
And what's your background? Is it in that area? Marketing?
Oh yeah, my background is graphic design. Oh God, I mean, graphic design is vast in terms of like a lot of different things. So I do like web design and video and animation, a lot of print, and then a lot of digital stuff. I think I got like 13 years on my belt now of professional experience. Not to toot my own horn.
No, nothing wrong with that.
That's awesome.
As long as the horns are not up there with the tail.
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh God.
I've been trying to hide mine. It doesn't go.
It's not Halloween yet.
Sorry. What about you, Mandee? Since you dirt. First thing that comes to your mind, 5 years down the line.
Right. So, not to piggyback on what Bert said, but I see it as just growing.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and having more. I see it as a platform for people, thought leaders, but even just the little guys, I guess, so to speak, to kind of come in and maybe have a voice where maybe it was once difficult to have a voice, like it's a platform, it gives people the ability to speak, to actually get their message out, but also to talk about things that people really want to listen to. And what I love about the platform too is just that not a lot of us have, I mean, of course, part of our job is always kind of keeping up to date or trying to keep up to date with the latest technology and everything that's going on in the industry. But I think the best part about the platform is that it kind of offers people a way of keeping up without having to like dig into information themselves. Yep. Like they're able to listen while doing their job. They're able to like, get insights on things without having to take away from their day to day, in a way. So I love that. And I think that we're gonna, or it's just like kind of giving the industry another face too. Like, showing the other side of the security industry as well, and also kind of grabbing people who are outside the industry and saying, hey, actually security is pretty cool. Like the industry is pretty cool. Look what we're doing. This is new. Yeah. This is a whole platform full of really great, fun podcasts, that are just as cool as they are informative. So I guess after that long-winded ramble there, I just see growth. I see a lot of positive growth, a lot of
that's amazing.
Good connections, a lot of ways to work with, maybe even things like SIA and stuff like that to actually kind of help even democratize information as well. Kind of like with SNG, not everyone was able to make it out.
Yeah.
And to go actually, or make it out to actually SNG. But the fact that we were also the social media sponsor, and we were able to kind of like live share and tweet certain bits and pieces of information from it, I think kind of also gives people information that might not have been able to attend. So I really think I can see it as like something like that too. It's just so many different directions.
Yeah. It was fresh. It was new. It was something different. And that was, in my opinion, what the industry was really dying for, was some sort of new means to transfer knowledge. You know what I mean? When you start after the 100th conference that you've attended, they all start to look the same. You know what I mean? Yep. So this was, and we were forced into this, obviously, but it was, if you're going to look at the bright side of it, it really did push everyone to, I don't want to say conform, that's not the right way, but really sort of really look at things from a different viewpoint and start, pushing their own limits. But so there are two things that I really have been talking about for a while, when I spoke to Lee, and I didn't know Lee until really just the last year. But there were two things that I had been, one, I was teaching a class on the business aspects of integrating security and making better business decisions around security, but then also that sort of human element. And when you are consulting, I'm sure you could speak to this, sort of accounting for or predicting human error, or planning to mitigate all of that, and really bringing that humanistic side into the security world and speaking about that, not just the nuts and bolts and the ones and the zeros. It's not all math at the end of the day. Like there is all of these outside factors, and to start speaking to policy or how people implement different technologies in different ways, and all of that's the piece that's really been missing, in my opinion anyway. So to have someone or platform where everyone can sort of dive in with their perspective, and here's what works, here's what doesn't work. Go ahead, Bert.
Oh, so I was just about to say, before we get too far away, when Mandee mentioned a voice, one thing that I know that we're trying to do specifically is to be more diverse with who gets a voice. And like in the industry now, that's kind of not there really. So that's one thing that we're really trying to push, to show different people, so people can have people who look like them giving the same messages and say, hey, here we are. This is the industry.
You hit the nail on the head. That's exactly where I was going with it, right? Because prior to the last few years, it really has been very militaristic, or very much the law enforcement focus on what gets implemented.
What is it? The beer bellied
Every-
white snail? I think.
Well,
last
whatever you
one.
want to call it.
I'm kidding. That's what I said. That's what I go up as.
But at the end of the day, not everyone is law enforcement, not everyone is military, and security really is everyone's business.
Yes.
Yeah.
Whether you are a mom or a security practitioner or just, someone even in more of an artistic field, right? You're going to be using any kind of software or whatever that connects to a network to make your graphics. You got to make sure that you know what the protocols are for your company, that you don't compromise other bits and pieces to the business, right? So it really, at the end of the day, does become everyone's business. And getting those different people from all walks of life, to your point, Bert, that's what's really important here. It can't just be, we're the engineers and we know best. It has to be, we've used this, and somebody who's a CEO is going to use it differently than someone who's more on the administrative side versus someone who is a property manager or janitor and holds the keys to a building. Everyone's going to use this technology differently, and you have to look at it from all of those different angles. But anyway, sorry. Right, those are all the questions I have for today. I would love to do this again. This was fun. I love you guys. You guys are so awesome. I love what everyone is doing. Yes, totally love you guys.
No, it's this way. Hold on, it's this way. It's this way.
What is that?
Oh,
the heart.
oh,
Heart?
yeah.
You never seen this? The heart
No.
right here.
There we go.
That's what they do when they take a distance of heart. Oh, kissy, kissy.
I'm totally lost.
Oh.
You'll get it. She'll figure it out. Come on, get with the pop trend here.
I'm old.
So am I.
All right. So that wraps up our episode. Would love to hear from everyone who is watching. Give us some comments. Shoot us some messages. What kind of topics you want to hear? What kind of guests? If you're interested in being a guest, reach out, and we will see you guys on the next episode.
See ya. Bye.
Ciao, Mata.
Thanks all.
Stop recording.